Jounen Kewyol mama, Jounen Kewyol papa, Jounen Kewyol mama.
Bienvenue tout le monde à Un nous danser créole Saint-Lucie. Un programme côté nous kay montrer qui manière pour danser de toi danser traditionnel Saint-Lucie. Non moi c'est Jason C. Joseph. En session ça là, nous kay montrer qui manière pour danser, en danser nous ka crier kutumba. Ici un danser qui sort avec fête en PI, en commune en Choiseil en Saint-Lucie. Danser ça là, c'est un danser qui est plus difficile. Traditionnellement, ici un danser yo te ka fait en temps léoné la veille. Ici un danser côté c'est danser qui communiquer et puis yon a l'autre. Yo ka communiquer et puis c'est tambour qui communiquer et puis c'est danser. Ici un danser côté moun ka servi tout koyo, ka servi voyo en chay pas pour apprendre. Et c'est pour ça moi dit danser ça là en tiet plus difficile. À présent nous kay montrer qui manière pour faire kutumba. Et pour faire ça, je vais présenter Ginette et Shane. Si vous regardez Pierre bien, vous pouvez comprendre que tu me dis danser ça là difficile. En chay pas pour faire, pas les pièces. Là, il y a un moment, les dames là qui communiquent et puis cavalier et qui ont changé par eux, tambour qui a changé aussi. Et là, il y a un moment côté yo qui danser en chay plus vite. Kutumba, un danser qui en misant en chay. On nous regarde qui manière toute bagaille qui venir ensemble. Et puis c'est chanteur là, danseur et c'est musicien. Yo kay en misé à présent, actuellement je voulais présenter un groupe yo ka créé PI Cultural Group.
Sula mama pepe, sula mama pepe, sula mama pepe, sula mama ikija, mama ikija, sula mama pepe, sula ikija, aiwe kikongo ki malbati, aiwe kikongo ki malbati, aiwe kikongo ki malbati, aiwe kikongo ki malbati. Oyani weki kongo ki malbadi. Ai 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 weki kongo ki malbadi. Ça dans ces mots. Ai weki kongo ki malbadi. 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 Ai weki kongo malbadi. Ai weki kongo ki 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 malbadi. Ai weki malbadi. Ai weki malbadi. Ai kongo ki malbadi. Ai kongo ki malbadi. Ai weki kongo ki malbadi. Ai weki malbadi.
Merci un peu, PI Cultural Group. Merci, Weki, ou kay d'accord, morceau salati en misant en chay. Je voulais dire merci groupe culturel sort PI. En session ça là, nous te gardé un danser nous ka créé Kutumba. Yon danser danser qui ni un chay pli influence africain. Mwen espoir qui ou te essayer danser même si il un petit plus difficile. Mwen espoir qui ou te content présentation ça là. Merci pour regarder. Jusqu'à temps l'autre session, les nous danser créole simplicité.
Jounen Kewyol mama, Jounen Kewyol mama, Jounen Kewyol papa, Jounen Kewyol papa, Jounen Kewyol mamay, Jounen Kewyol mamay, Jounen Kewyol tout le monde, Jounen Kewyol tout le monde. Vini célébrer nous, vini amuser nous, vini chercher nous, bonjour salam. Jounen Kewyol mama, Jounen Kewyol mama, Jounen Kewyol papa.
Bonsoir, 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 bonsoir tout le monde. Welcome, welcome, bienvenue to another episode of Bouyon. Tonight, guys, I just want to say you asked for it and we're delivering, all right? Audience, as they say, we want Bouyon to celebrate and to recognize St. Lucia Cultural Heritage Month, and that's what we're doing tonight. So I'm really pleased and honored, you know, to be doing this. I want to welcome, I refer to as my co-host, but I'm featuring tonight my friend, Yolanda Brice. I want to say good night to you. Welcome on Bouyon. That's your second appearance on Bouyon, so welcome tonight.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
You're most welcome, my friend. So Yolanda, you know, when I'm thinking about Jounen Kewyol and I'm thinking about St. Lucia Cultural Heritage Month, I'm thinking of a lot of things. I'm thinking, boy, was that the influence of the Africans when they came here? Is there any influence of the Iraqs and the Caribs? How, you know, kind of like, I know you're an expert in that area. Kind of what are we actually celebrating when we think about St. Lucia Cultural Heritage Month?
Well, Peter, I must say that even the way you started out with the dance, and even the name of the dance, Kutumba, you can hear the African influence in the name. You know, just thinking about it, you know, it definitely comes from an indigenous language. And looking at the people, looking at the movements, looking at the fabric, you can see the influence of the geometric patterns on African print. You can see some of the moves. If you go back to all of the dances back when these Africans would express themselves through dance and through music. And an important part of their celebration was the drums and some of the musical instruments that they use. And you can see that being reflected, being used in the performance of the expression. So I definitely will say that, you know, our cultural heritage derived very much from African culture, from the presence of not just, you know, St. Lucia being colonized by both the French and the British. So we can hear it in the language. There is influence of English language. There is influence of the French language, but there's very, very influence of the African language in there. So it's a melee of the three different cultures.
It's like a bouillon, right? Where you have
like a bouillon.
You understand, right? Let's give a big shout out to everyone who have joined us tonight. You know, of course, you guys, without you guys, this show would not be possible. And we appreciate the fact that you're here Sunday in, Sunday out, like they say. So thank you, Joanne Paul. I want to say good night, Joanna. Good night, Leona Brice. Bonsoir to you, Pearl, my cousin. Good night to you. Adela, good night. Edith, good night to you. Bonsoir, Leona Brice. Bonsoir, Matthias, my brother. Good night to you. You see what a great job he did, right? Our little inside thing, yeah. Keith, good night to you. Good night. Yasmin, Anthony, bonsoir. Nessa, good night to you. Thank you. Coran Pestina, Diodone, good night to you. We cannot see you properly. Oh my God, why can't you not see me properly? What is happening here? Peter D maybe need to adjust his camera. But you know what? Before I do this and get into trying to adjust my camera so that you can see me better, I just want to talk a little bit about, you know, Yolanda, one of the things I really love is that in St. Lucia, the youth has embraced the culture. You know, and the next slide we have is more about the culture, about how the youth has embraced our culture.
So Peter, before I comment on that, I think that people are telling me that they're still seeing your screen from the music, from the video before, so you can stop sharing. That way they're able to see you better.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
But one of the things I was concerned about with the youth embracing the culture is us as parents, the holders of the culture. Maybe not us, but our grandparents, the people who have been passing the culture down to us. You know, unintentionally we pass on the culture with the things we say, our actions, because that's how a culture is kept. You know, when people are within a culture, they're celebrating it, they're practicing it. It's like something we just absorb naturally. We don't go about looking for it. We just kind of like subconsciously we adopt it. So the youth around us, they're seeing our culture and they're adopting as well. But it would be great if we as the holders of the culture make a deliberate effort to pass that on to our children so they can speak the language. You know, they know the dances, they know the folklore, they know the l'histoire, they can tell the stories, they can talk about the histories of their country. So when I see little children embracing, little children speaking Creole, little children doing the dances, it's just something that's so heartwarming. So it's just beautiful when you can see them doing that.
All right, all right. And you know, one of the things I want to see about tonight, and we'll get the screen thing sorted shortly, momentarily rather. But one of the things I wanted to say is Bouyon tonight is Bouyon with a slight difference, because tonight we're going to have a lot of slides. We're going to show you a lot of videos, a lot of entertainment, a lot of dancing and so on. So we can better understand our cultural heritage, if that makes sense. So without further ado, let's play our next slide presenting the youth. Yes, yes, we saw the youth Guys, my apologies. Peter D is not so technical, so sometimes these things happen. So my apologies for that. Um, I want to just give everybody who has joined us a big shout out. We want to say thank you guys so much for joining us on Bouyon tonight. Molly Malls, good night to you. I say Molly Malls, but it's Molly Mall. But I have my own vibe to everything. So good night, Molly Malls. Edith again, good night. Bonsoir, tout le monde, bonsoir. Yolanda, ou sab nou teni a challenge, ou soya, mwen teni pou pale Creole. Mais vous savez, là, les gens qui disent pas ça comprendre créole. So, you dis, Peter, quitte Yolanda parler créole, et ou kay parler anglais. So, moi, just tout le monde savent, moi, ça parle créole, mais moi, quand je parle anglais, peace, nous.
Eh bien, quand il s'est bon, ça sort quenché. Because when tu me dis parler patois tout seul, et then me commencer à parler patois, je me réalise que d'autres gens ne pas connaître patois. So again, you will hear me kind of like mixing up the patois with the English, but I guess it's okay because c'est laissez nous quelque point qui ça nous mean by nous ni pour faire assurer nous passer tradition from ces guamuna by ces timamaila. So pour make sure that yo sa parler patois, yo sa danser, c'est danser, yo sa yo connaître langage là, yo connaître ces traditions, vous savez?
So engagement, Manu. Hey guys, look, hey, hold on. I want to show myself tonight. You see my you see, boy, let me tell you, I have a boy, Matthias, thank you. Matthias introduced me to a great tailor, man. This guy made a shirt for me in a couple of days. You know.
You wear it well, Peter. You wear it very, very well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, and I'm so happy. You know, I feel, you know, first time I'm wearing a shirt like this, you know, so you know. So yes, let's just shout out again. I think Jennifer, you've just joined us, so thank you so much for joining. Thank you guys so much. We really welcome you guys and appreciate the fact that you guys are here. Let's talk about a little bit about the African influence, because earlier when you spoke, you said you could see the African vibe, the African influence on our culture. Let's talk about a little bit about that. And I think one of the ways that we can appreciate the culture is, I think the Creole is part of that, right? French mixed with African, kind of that mixture. And also the taboo and the dancing and so on. Let's talk a little bit about the, yeah.
So, Peter, first of all, I want to say, even I'm very sure you took your shirt to the tailor and they made it for you. You must have just said, "For Chinese Creole Bouyon." But look at the style of it. You see how the little V comes out in the center? Yeah. When you think about African dashiki, that's how, you know, the design comes down, always starts with some kind of applique or some kind of design that starts off the shoulder and it comes down towards the man's stomach. And then the rest of the outfit is just regular African print. And I'm very sure you didn't tell him to make it look like an African outfit, but looking at it has the African accent right on it. So that's a great place to start off right away.
Boom. It is a great place. Yeah, because I didn't say I wanted to look like an African shirt. I just said I just want a nice Creole Day kind of shirt, you know, to kind of feature our heritage and so on, and that's what he made. So
yes, so because the African and the Creole are one and the same. Now, you know, these days when you think of Creole Day, we do a lot of the food, and you know, a lot of people come with the print. They have the African, the Creole print, and nowadays people start incorporating the African print in there. You see them tying their hair. No longer, some of them have the madouas and everything, the hair tie. But a lot of people just use African cloth and they tie their hair, they wrap themselves up in African cloth without even giving it a second thought, because our culture is married to the African culture. You know, again, as I said earlier, the drums, the food, the methods of preparation, outside on the coal pot, using different methods of cooking, all of those things that derive from African culture. Every single one of them.
So why don't we take a little bit of music and dance? The katumba. I like that. I like that, the katumba.
I like the sound of it. I love the sound of the name.
Yeah, you know, let's yeah.
Beneath the natural tranquility of Piai, the African rhythms of kutumba, debot, bele, those rhythms live in the people. The people of Piai are known all over St. Lucia, all over the Caribbean, for their skills in carrying on these African dances. For instance, the debot is well known.
As Dopia divided into two.
Yes, man. You see, I like the Jounen, I like that vibe. You know, you could see the dancing, you could see the immense pleasure that everyone is taking is in dancing. I think that's so good. I enjoy watching and listening to it. Before we continue, let's give another shout out to the individuals who again have joined us. We want to say good night to Gemma. Good night. Thank you, Gemma. You like my shirt. Thank you. Thank you very much. Will Harris, good night to you. Good night. Good night. I know, these things are so nice. It's really nice to see that. And, Yolanda, I was looking at that, and whilst I was researching and kind of looking for content for our show tonight, I came across all of those dances and stuff, and I'm like, my God, how comes I can't dance like that? I have 2 left feet, I can't dance.
Peter, ça pas pièce esquisse.
But
Ou sa ki sa, le mwen te ka gade dan se ya, ek mwen gade se mouna, kote d'Italia la, ou sa wè se mouna, yo kontan, yo tout yo plezien, le fija yo ka gwiyen, ek ou gade wè tout moun ka de se pinon, se pwede just ti mamay ek gwan moun mele ek ti mamay ek yo tout la ka juke, yo ka vole, yo ka pase tout patou, yo ka amuse kon yo. Bon, et so wè la te di pièce bagay choreographe kote moun ka di, ok, an ale kosa, an ale kosi. Moun te ka just tourne, vap, tourne pa isi, vap. La pa te ni pièce bagay bag, oh, me pa sa fè, me pa. Tout moun te ka just danse. Ek lè ou an di dan amout sa la, ek ou ka amuse kou. I pa mata sou konet se mouvment, ou just sa ou ka koute musique la, tout worries ou fini, ek ou ka danse.
Ou ka fè sa ou ni pou fè.
Oui, ou ka fè sa ou ni pou fè. So sa pa pièce esquisse.
I know, I take that. Moins point ça. Moins point ça. Mais où savent, l'année, yon de se yo ka fait, ek, ou savent de se ça la point longtemps pour moun recognize li, in a sense, because they thought it was vulgar. They thought it was so intimate. Like, in the modern day, we talk about grinding and stuff like that. And it's the solo, right? They were talking about the solo as being so, and some places did not want to even show the solo and so on because of how intimate they thought it was. I don't know, what's your take on that?
Well, we've always been a sensual people, always, and when you look at African culture, back in the day, you patika kube koyu, from kamashe tout partout tete the breast was not a sexual thing. It was an instrument of feeding. Everybody was feeding their children, and sex was used mostly for consummation, for building. Of course, maybe I'm not saying they used to enjoy it, but we were always a sexualized culture. However, we have used modern influences, especially American influences, and everything has become vulgar or unacceptable. And we make everything seem bad. But Conway at the video and it wasn't just a small joke, it was this hard joke, what people would call twerking today. And person particular feel, oh, I've been sexually abused, or I'm sexually harassed. It was just a way of expressing ourselves, a way of, molding our bodies to convey the music, to convey meaning, So I can't complain.
All right. Guys, let's have a look at what the solo is all about, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But let's get some solo music there right now. The duns and thing.
Danced according to defined or regimented steps or formations. People dance individually, or in pairs, or in the round. The essence of the solo is the ability to express oneself with the use of the body. There is a lot of expressive and sometimes suggestive waist movements and hip gyrations. For this reason, is shunned by some sections of the society. Some of them call it vulgar. They refer to it as a vulgar wine and dance. This may have also been the reason why the solo has not been promoted or studied as one of the African influences in the culture of St. Lucian people. However, even in this apparent form of excessive movements, the body language of the solo is satirical.
What's done? What's shaking?
Songs of the solo are comments on the social events of the day. They are composed by anyone, including the drummer, but they are sung mainly by individual female singers known as chotelles. Today, with the same wit, the same satire, some compositions are sung in groups. Solo employs the technique of langue déviée, with people saying the opposite of what they really mean. It is this use of irony which makes the solo more than just a wild dance.
Mama, oh, ay, 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 me hace Bible pemwe, mama, oh, ay, ay, me akushe baiti waila, mama, oh, ay, 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 me hace Bible pemwe, oh, ay, 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 me akushe baiti waila, mama, oh, ay, 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 me hace Bible pemwe.
Who look at the from? I meet from Sal.
I
Let me
love
get the
it.
portrait from now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know, I like the music. I really do like the vibe. You know, I really need to learn to dance the solo.
So the solo you want to dance, eh?
I want to learn to dance the solo. If there's anything I want to learn to dance is the solo.
Peter, the last lady who was singing "Moi and said Bible pe moi," right? You see the sadness in the song, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still being expressed through music. Music was such and not just like, it wasn't planned music. You know, people who just come around, they will just start singing a song and the mood would come out in the song. But then at the same time, even if the mood is sad, even if it's happy, the people still use their bodies as the way to express themselves, as a way to communicate. And that is something that is so unique to us as Caribbean cultures, as African cultures. It's a beautiful thing.
Definitely, definitely. Adela, silly good night to you. I want to say good night to Vivian, who has joined us. Thank you so much, guys. She said whenever solo is in the house, it's a workout exercise. You know, so so you know, and I love the solo. So guys, I'm going close to home now, and I want to present someone who I discovered her video on the on I think it was the I think it may have been, I don't remember exactly the group, but I think it was the St. Lucia House group where she where it was shared. I like the song that she has a song called Mamai Mopo. I love that song. It's kind of Creole, and I love the whole vibe. And she's well known for doing short stories or doing her stories and doing even poems in Creole. I want to welcome and invite Marilyn Gaston. Good night to you. Mamai Mopo, bonsoir. Bonsoir,
Bonsoir.
Mamai Mopo.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir, bonsoir.
Tout bagay bon?
Tout bagay en forme. Tout bagay en forme, Peter.
All right. Dis-moi timide about, dis-nous timide about who, qui mon ouye?
Bonsoir, bonsoir, tout monde, c'est ici, tout monde mondial. Bienvenue à sur l'internet. Bienvenue à sur Facebook. Alors, il a fait moi grand plaisir pour me mettre chichima un grand bouillon ça là qui a tweet là au soya.
Oui, go.
Non, moi c'est Marilyn Gaston, moi c'est Mamai Mopo. Moi c'est un monde qui a tien kilti moi vivant, moi ka respecter et puis moi pas ka faire honteuse pour moi célébrer kilti moi n'importe côté moi yé. Alors moi c'est un monde qui involvé en bagay culturel depuis temps moi ti mamay.
Merci pour ça. So, dis-nous, ça a fait pour nous oswea.
Eh bien, en kilti nous ni l'histoire, nous ni poésie, nous ni tim, nous ni quoi, nous ni on chaybay, qu'on a dit, pogwamou, c'est un grand bouillon, kilti nous, c'est un grand bouillon. Alors, on souhaite, moi, qu'il fait, on teach en poésie, parce que en kilti nous, tenions bagay yo kouye tiwe mette, ou sa vle moun te ka tiye mette, moun te ka babye a sou la oui. Moun te ka jete parole ba yon a lot. Ça c'est un pas en kilti nous, hein?
Oui.
Kilti nous ni on chay bagay. Alors, tu plaisir moi kay fait en soya. Non c'est agulu guanfal.
Agulu guanfal, oui.
Tiwe mette. Agulu guanfal. Ou toi aime laver had sal en sous la oui. Ou sav had sal ni pour laver en parmi famille. Ou en waje, ou vle tout fait. Et puis tout ça ou ouais. Ou ka jis force signatier gwan ayelou. Ou toi douol. Ou aime bobol. Ou toi douol garçon. Ou kwe pa pou pani la mort. Agulu guanfal. Kachile tout ça c'est bagay en mal. Ou ka fait kon wat. Le yo sav chap pala. Yo ka bay bal. Agulu guanfal. C'est pas le ou vle ou ka jwen ça tout le. Après ça tout pas tout trop chaud. Ou nan le ouais. Ou vini pe. Ma foi, c'est pas tout chien qui jappe pour di mâche. Ou ventate, ou la chasse, qui ça ou vle encore agulu guanfal? Ou vle piti piton, ou vle wayon, go piton, obelilion, mon Jimmy, ou vle olion, makopon? C'est tout ka fan, mais ou anek pakatan, kontena paka ale en cimetière, non? Ça c'est un golé, ouais, agulu guanfal. Wete tan chill, ça c'est un gwa oui med. Agulu guanfal, agulu guanfal, agulu guanfal.
Qui ça qui ive agulu guanfal?
I love it, Marilyn. I love it.
Thank you, merci, merci.
Bien fait.
I love it too, you know. Yeah, you can.
Alors, moi, je voulais dire un autre petit parole pour Jean Saint-Lucie, Jean tout partout qui a écouté nous sur l'internet. Créole, c'est en dérision. Nous n'y en langage, nous bilingues. On nous embrasser langage nous, on nous pas faire honte pour nous parler créole. Parce qu'à présent, créole, c'est un langage qui est acceptable, il standardise. Et puis, nous, ni dictionnaire, nous, ni tout bagaille, nous, écrit, et puis, li, langage créole là. Nous, te ka dit patois, mais à présent, c'est créole. Alors, créole, c'est en dérision. Précaution, c'est dérision, maman là. Célébrer qu'il nous et pas oublier. C'est tamboura qui mène nous. Tamboura qui mène nous. Pas oublier. Tamboura qui mène nous. Alors, moi, pour composer un bel petit chanté, compitadou, by tout gens Saint-Lucie, by tout le monde. Mais expressement Jean Mopo, parce que nous avons Mopo, the grand state of Mopo. So, when you're on them pour Mopo, mais moi, je veux tout le monde danser, et puis bien content, tu chanter, moi.
Bah, danser pour moi, cadeau bout actuellement. Aïe, 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 moi. Wo, yo, yo.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. Just waiting for you.
I thought you were going to play it. Oh, no.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to sing it.
No. I thought you were going to play.
Mopo, my Mopo. Let's go, man. Let's sing that song for us. Give us a verse. I wanted it live. I wanted it live.
No, when he goes, il était qu'à chanter. Mais alors, mon te pour supposer tant bagay là. Bien, OK, moi kay fait yon verse à didain.
Oui, merci.
Mamay Mopo nous se wasin Creole. Mamay Mopo nous plante nan kilti. Mamay Mopo ça c'est la vérité. Nous pas mol nous ni respect. Nous ka point kilti sérieux. Moute en lobala ni mok boxing plant. Allez en patience ou en chimé kilte. Moute pour la pointe c'est la sen hose. Si wenal fait fawin nous ka point kilti sérieux. Mamay Mopo nous se wasin Creole. Mamay Mopo nous plante nan kilti. Mamay Mopo ça c'est la vérité. Nous pas mol nous ni respect. Nous ka point kilti sérieux.
You see, that was awesome. That's why I wanted you to do it live.
Merci. Si vous te dit, moi, avant, moi, qu'à faire ça, vous te fait ça, mais on l'autre là.
A lot less. Quand you dit, a lot less to do, a lot less. But merci. Thank you so much for being part of Bouyon tonight. Thank you.
Merci pour nous, moi, Watch Radio, et moi, qu'à souhaiter bonne félicitations, et puis pour Guamou, et puis, Miss Brice, moi ka continuer avec Pita pour faire bagay la bouillon ani plus goût encore. Alors, bonne chance.
Encore tu es Marilyn, merci. Maté même ça ou teni tout créole ça là ani down. Et puis Pita et puis ou même tout because ou c'est un mam créole ou so maman créole nous kay bouger ou pour aider nous. Mais les créoles là-bas, c'est plus petit moun qui tient nous, c'est petit moun là, c'est petit maman là. Pour ça embrace qu'il tient même quand ou même tu embrace lui.
Eh bien, quand dit cousine c'est dit, nous c'est maman sans. Alors, nous pas ça quitter ça passer comme ça. C'est choix moi ka montre maman ici là la caille tout partout m'a ka fait wall pour moi faculté moi comme moi do alors n'importe les arbouses moi fait rien pas faire honte pour crier moi c'est qu'il plaisir moi.
Okay, definitely. Oh, so I just want to address what Yasmin just said. Yasmin said Creole, please, Peter. So yes, some people do not understand Creole, so I kind of doing the mixture of Creole and English. That's my excuse, okay? So bear with me. So Yolanda, COVID has hit us hard, right? And in everywhere you go, every place you stop, you must hear a conversation about COVID. You being a teacher as well, you know how it has impacted schools and students and so on. We have a little snippet of a young guy, a young child, or child rather, not a young child, a child who's who's doing a performance with his dad, and I think that's really something that when we look at it, we had to aid. So before we play that clip, just give us your kind of 2 cents on COVID and the school situation and so on.
Well, I can talk about COVID and the school. We all know that COVID has affected schools. More so, not just schools in America, but we're talking about schools in St. Lucia. Schools in St. Lucia are still remote. Children are not even in school yet physically. So definitely the COVID has been affecting education. But I just love that, children back home are actually thinking about the impact to go as far as saying, let me put that into our Creole language and let me go out there and compose something where I can talk about Creole and education. But I think talking about how COVID impacted our celebration of the Creole Month heritage celebrations may be even more appropriate. So why don't you look at you show the video first, and then we'll come back and talk about the impact of COVID in our Creole celebrations in the month of October.
Definitely. Let's do that. Let's look at the video. Whilst the video is getting ready to play. Oh, Matthias, I didn't realize Yasmin was giving you tongue there. It's not me, it's you. Okay, so make sure you talk Creole, all right?
Bonjour tout le monde, non moi c'est qui Mandidou. Moi c'est Jean, Saltibis Soirée. Depuis COVID vini, moi passe à l'école. Bah, gay COVID ça là, il wed, il pas mort. Toute maman et teacher vini écouter, moi et papa, moi alors juste fait un t-shirt.
Si moi tout ça fait me la peine, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout ça paye ma chère, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout qui paye ma tête, c'est oui ça oui. Cause maman actuellement, yo passe à l'école comme avant. Depuis COVID fini, toute la vie nous vient détruire. Nous passe à l'école, mais c'est mi bagay qui doit. Moi passe à ouais j'aime moi mange les déjeuner. Tant pour jouer pour des nous plaire, my the black pas worry about it. Si moi tout ça fait me la peine, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout ça paye ma chère, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout il paye ma tête, c'est oui ça oui. Cause maman actuellement, you passe à l'école comme avant. Les jours c'est rien qui sont. We stuck up in the room. Internet a by tracker. Ouais, passe à ton teacher. Tous les jours mon just come on. Covid ça là just pas bon. On est tout prier pour la vie tous nous vivre. Si moi tout ça fait me la peine, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout ça paye ma chère, c'est oui ça oui. Si moi tout il paye ma tête, c'est oui ça oui. Cause maman actuellement, you passe à l'école comme avant. L'année c'est pour tout teacher. Cause moi ça yo ni trois cas. Mais moi ça yo pièce pas faible. On est back while I buy the wet. Vini tout à nous prêter. Pour COVID-19 aller. Cause maman la vie the way. Nous passe à l'école comme on veut. Si moi mwen dou sa fe mwen la pen. Se oui sa we, si mwen dou sa bay manche. Se oui sa we, si mwen dou I bay manche. Se oui sa we, cause mama ya 12 months, you pass I l'école ko ava. Se oui sa we, se oui sa we, se oui sa we. Si koute, et mwen vle di tout moun, bonne fête Creole!
Bon Fête Creole. Yo, to be honest, guys, I've been trying to read the comments, and we have some comments in Creole, and killing me because I can't read Creole, but you know how it is already.
That's all
You know, but I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us tonight, to everybody who's participating. Pamela, thank you. Adela, thank you so much. And she said the younger culture or the younger people and now a younger generation rather now embracing our Creole, our culture. They're embracing speaking Creole and so on, so which is a good thing. Yasmin Anthony, good night. You say, merci Yolanda Brice pour travail assistance ou ça t'est bon. Merlin Shari said, ça nous dit ça fait nous la peine. Yo, I'm trying, right? I'm trying to read this Creole, right? And I'm not.
You know, if I was able to see the comments, Peter, I would try, but I'm looking through and I cannot see.
Okay. All right.
My range is limited.
I'm struggling, but that's all right. I'm sure the audience understand. So I just want to say thank you everyone for joining us. And we saw that nice piece, right? And Bella, thank you so much. We saw that nice piece from this young boy and his dad, and I think that was a really really nice piece, and we had to add that there.
Peter, I think it speaks to the resilience of our children. L'école fermée, yo passe à l'école, Covid ka croisé famille, ka tué moun, ka quitté moun an dedans, l'école fermée tout bagay. Et ti maman la et papa decide, oh, décider because money moun ka gade moi la mi tens di me pali patwa bi. So ti boy like papa ka décider, oh, an fait on bagay, an parler about ki manière COVID-19 ka affecté nous. Et pour ti maman sa vini prêt pour tuer. Ka chile about ki manière bagay sa ka affecté. Et puis aside papa et fait qualité musique ça. Nous ka dit ça pas un money pour ti maman apprendre. But ça ka just mucho manière nous pas ka casser. Même si nous pour yo poser nous et puis bagay qui pas bon puis bagay qui pas tout positif mais yo ka still ask that you ki manière message fait ça travail. Ki manière ça ka chile about ça et mener au commission by c'est mon commune moi about ki manière ça ka affecter moi. So ça so bagay qui chouet powerful, must have pretty powerful.
Ça bon, peace. You know, out of the adversity and out of all what they're going through, they can still bring something positive out of it. So you're still many bagay positive. So for the people who have said to me, Peter, good try. Thank you so much. And I'm trying here, right? I'm trying to you know, guys, I'm having so much fun, right? So whilst we were Yolanda, whilst we were presenting the student here, I had to call my producers or my owners of the radio station and say to them that I'm begging for more time because I really am enjoying this show and I want us to go a bit longer. So I've asked for a little more time so we can, you know, go on because I know everybody who's listening, everyone who's tuned in, they're having a good time. So I want to continue the festivity. So we're probably going to go for another 15, 20 minutes if that's cool with you. Is that cool with you?
Oh, that's absolutely fine.
All right. So once that's fine with you, we're going on. All right, guys. So we want to thank you guys again for joining us. You know, we have Cheryl Brice on. We have Sister D's on. We want to say good night to you. Messi, good night. Merlin, Cheryl, everybody. We want to say good night. And thank you guys so much for joining. You know, Yolanda, growing up, right? Remember we used to hear about the folk tales and all of the storytelling and how that used to be so interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember as a young boy going to Strozel during the summer vacation. My grandfather and grandmother always used to put us to sit down, all the grandchildren here, and they used to tell us all of the l'histoire in Creole. That's how I'm able to speak Creole so well. because I listened to my grandparents, you know. So, you know, there's all that. So I think it would be an appropriate time to actually share maybe a story with our audience, you know what I mean? So I don't know when you're growing up if you were told many stories, but I was told many. Tim, Bashes. Ay, you remember? Yes.
Oh, you know, Peter, we used to have the Edie Quick.
What?
Hey, once you had an Edie Quick, you know it's time for a story.
Yes.
And when you say the quack, you know everybody's listening. And again, that's back into the African tradition where it was call and response. When the elders they say, I am speaking, then you say, I am listening. So the Edie Quick quack was the way to just get attention because you know right away a story is coming.
Yes. So the story is coming.
Yes.
So let's drop the story.
So you spoke about. Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
Let's do the story and then we'll...
Ili quick! Là, ni moun ka parle anglais, là, ni moun ka parle créole. Donc, ça qui fait. Là, ni moun qui parle créole la pièce. Yo ka fait considérer yo pas ça parler créole là. Et créole là ka mette problème avec anglais. Pas d'où ça qui fait. Il dit quick! Là, te dit deux camarades. Yon sorti en ville, l'autre la sorti en habitation. C'est qu'on a nous ka kouye. Jean Bitak et Jean Castui. Quand c'est depuis sorti Castui, ou ça parle anglais, mais yo ignorant passé qui parce que yo se balati fait là. Loin moun ka parler créole là, mettez yo molé yo pas comprendre. Mais de c'est pour ça te coyote, il dit quoi? Parler même langue parler la vérité ba pion moitié balangou. Yo se joue pour la vie dit camarade, ou ça qui fait. Moi kay aller dans yon ce pays français. Moi il fait yon des jours. Il dit quoi? So, il d'accord. So, Bougla, les garçons, il fait about 2-3 l'année. Il est quoi? Là, il vit un camarade, les garçons. Mi j'ai ou tek, mi content. Les deux, c'est Bougla, jouent ensemble. So, Bougla, tu es cette lycée, il parle anglais. Il dit, Bougla, garçon, où ça qui va être? Moi, invite pour déjeuner, Kaïmoun. Il dit, il y a un problème, garçon, moi, Kaïvini. Il dit, quoi? Pas mal de qui manière, ils ont été comprendre l'autre. Ça va faire, moi, même parti là. Il dit, quoi? So, Bougla de Kaïli, avec qui dit son ventre. Je vais inviter nos gens pour préparer manger. Pas bon petit bagay. Mettez des vins fouettes. Qui vient dire fruits. Garçon, joue ça là, garçon, bouglan tout. Les bouglan tout, yo, mettez manger les tables, boire les tables, garçon. C'est bouglan la cabladji, yo quand te bladji. So, votre doigt, ka ouvrir hadli, ka fait tito aheli, ça passe à faire. Garçon, yo manger, yo bail blague, yo manger, moi tout pas manger, mais qui me yon dans l'autre, ka pour l'autre. Mais pas ça, vite fruits. So, les manger fini. Bouglan ka parler, soyo là. Il garde monsieur, il est quick. Il l'ont la main, il bougla. Et il dit, camarade, votre soupe, c'est bien bonne. Bougla anglais a été. Il garde monsieur. Mais il pas bon. So, il garde quand il mange. Bougla vient dire, votre soupe, c'est bien bonne. Bougla a dit, pour y être. Il faut que monsieur Bougla Doudou. So Bougla kamade mais nous t'es là tout bien mais il dit quoi? Parler maman parler la vérité ba pio mentir balango. Il dit mais non, nous t'es là ensemble mais ba comprendre qui manière monsieur fait ban beaucoup pour ça là. So Bougla vient tourner encore. Les vient Bougla tourner encore pour bail pour là. Il pour les monsieur bataille. Tab maté, chaise maté, verre cassé, assiette. So on a été là. Mais il dit mais non, laissez Bougla ça te ri. Qui ça qui calé là? So, il quitte le travail, il est quick, monsieur. Il est quick. Parlez la vérité, il y mentir balangou. So, il boit, il dit, c'est pour la rien qualité bataille. Il dit, hold on, stop it. What the hell is happening? So là, le double. Merci pour Dieu, ça va être qu'à comprendre tous les langages là. Il est quick. So, il dit, boss, tell me what's going on. Boss là, il dit, my friend, after you prepare all this nice meal and we there enjoying ourselves, the man ate and he drank everything. Now the man turning and tell me my food was burnt. So when I tourne, avec qui a dit by Bougla, mais qui m'a donné s'il te Bougla comme ça? Ou qu'a dit ce Bougla, m'a été brûlé. So Bougla a dit, mais non, oh ça mal comprendre moi simplement dit comme ça. Votre soupe,
c'est bien bon. Soit ça va tourner avec qui a dit, hey boss, I never thought you were so ignorant. Because the man simply saying to you that the food was very good. So, où est qui manière langage là, si on pas comment il qui a mis désagrément, il dit quick. So, il est nécessaire pour nous ici, pour nous comprendre ni anglais, ni patois, avec parler bien pour nous ça, panique pour bas, avec y'en a l'autre. Monsieur, il dit quick.
Let me tell you, I love that story though. Why? I love that story, you know. I'm still laughing, man. You need to understand the two language, all right?
Bonsoir tout le monde.
The two language, no need to understand okoponi, right? Right, Miss Brice? No need to understand the okoponi.
Oui, no need to understand the okoponi.
No need to okoponi.
Peter, le nou ka parler patois expressement, le nou ka ba un ti blague patois. Et quand on try faire à brise, on try parler anglais because I need d'autres monde qui pas comprendre patois. Et là on ba un ti story, et qu'on parle en patois, et bagara ni musique et tout le monde ka tre ko yo kawi, et then la ni on monde qui ka gado. According qui ça just there, we got try.
You understand?
Ça bien anglais pour yo s'en joindre ni. Et là on dit en anglais, bagara pas ni pièce go.
It's never the same.
So, la ni bagay about patois, qui just wish, ou just, they just pass a changer from patois pour anglais, or it's like just pay no bagay translation.
I ka ped a shy piece. L'autre na bagay a Creole, initialement la vie. It's so colorful when it is in Creole.
Yes.
Opposed to when it's in English, you know. So yes. You know, Belle Creole, oui, Belle Creole, you know, and it's true. I want to say, no, Adela, I wanted to tell you, yes, I like to show my nice shirt, but I think you're enjoying the show, right? I'm sure you are. That's why we are going a little further, a little beyond our time, yes, to make you even happier. So yes, thank you guys once again. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Yolanda. Jounen Kewyol wouldn't be Jounen Kewyol without that food, right? That cassava, that bouillon, that roasted pork, that sardine roti, you know, that hawaso, that zaboka, and farine. You know what I'm saying?
Lababad.
Boape oti. Yeah. Ugo bon châtain. Now that's one of my favorite ones, right? I really love châtain, bread nut. I love it.
Oh yes.
I love it. Love it. Every time I go home, I always want to make sure I get some bread nut because I love it.
Oui.
You know. So let's talk a little bit about our foods, our, you know, the things that we enjoy or the things that we look forward to when it's Jounen Kewyol, you know, which is one of those main days that we celebrate.
Peter, you realize that, and I guess it's going back to the COVID thing, talking about how COVID had impacted the Jounen Kewyol and the festivities. You realize that pre-COVID, we used to have like one weekend of celebration for Jounen Kewyol.
Yeah.
Since COVID came and we missed out on a whole year. Since October started, every weekend I've been hearing somebody has a Jounen Kewyol festival. And then every weekend people are looking to get to that Jounen Kewyol festival so they could eat the food. Up to now it's November. And I think today there was some Jounen Kewyol going on by Andrea, people talking about food. I'm all the way in Florida. I'm like, you want to make sure you're going to put the food for me when I come back tonight. I can eat the food. So that food, even when you go, you buy the food, you know you're going to buy food, but you're talking the language, you're giving jokes, you're dancing little Creole music. It's what really brings us together. So although the Jounen Kewyol is celebrating our entire cultural heritage and the way of life, our Creole way of life, the food has a lot in bringing us together and keeping us together.
Awesome. I want to read something that Leona just said there. She said, Yolanda, you look amazing, sweetheart.
Oh, sister.
Berkeley. Oh, I don't know if I said
C'est merci, soin, merci, merci. C'est ça, maman nous, et puis sans papa nous.
that. Whoa, you look around here on Bouyon tonight, right? And but yes, she said the fig vet and the sardino tea. Yes, guys.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Or the what?
Manikou, ma pa.
Manikou, right?
Manikou.
Okay. And you know what I like too? I like I wanted to say it in Creole, but I don't remember how to say it. Oh, lamo wi oti, guys. When me lamo wi oti, epi. Why are you laughing at me? When men lamo wi oti, epi feed vec, epi avocat, epi ti.
Avocat, lamo concombre salade.
Yeah.
I was
so yo. C'est quand tu manger moi qui là.
Peter.
Vous jamais manger joloti?
Joloti, à présent la che cochon en aiguille carotte. Et une belle sauce et puis l'ail. Et les chou-sky. Et boost. Et tout c'est pour ça ça moi pas j'aime ces boost là, mais moi style les aller après l'ordre c'est quand tu bagay ça. Yo ka fait moi quoi accorder moi style cette ici.
Vous comprenez? Moi mais ça gaz.
Kalalou kwab.
Oui, kalalou kwab. Ah oui, ça a l'autre bobay. Moi mais kwab. Parce que le mec kwab, moi pas quitter pièce ba les sauce. Zigzoa. The shell of the crab.
Crab miso.
No, that's why yeah, it's exoskeleton, all right? So I'm not eating the bone, but I'm extracting out of the shell.
Oh, you know, we're talking about the food, but when you talk about the desserts, cocoa pie, lababad, buldawa.
Hold on, what's buldawa?
Marion Jamiku. Timadou bagay. Back in the day, with a team of Mike, you can't let mess. Ou quand la messe just pour me boule d'awa ou savent ou pas ça aller la messe dans dimanche et pas aller bord cimetière là côté d'awa et pas c'est pas qu'on la mat mais c'est la mat doua pas ça qu'il faut pas la mat faut blanc c'est il était noir.
Oh c'est so boule
but on a déjà fait boule en micro c'était d'awa non c'était d'awa c'est appelé boule d'awa. Là où elle qui s'en dit mais j'ai comment d'autres à boule d'awa. Amizuka peut comme yo ka manger boule d'awa quand maman. Oui.
I remember boule. Ma j'aime ni boule d'awa mais moi savent qui ça qui boule. Moi ni boule.
Nous de ka manger si ouais jam jam tamawe tout côté. Guiave, jam guiave. Oh, chaque bagay nous te ka fait, nous pas te besoin toutes ces bagay ça qui ka mettre toutes ces GMOs là dedans.
One of the things I want to say is our culture is rich, very, very rich. Our culture. So you know, Yolanda, let's take a little bit of the food making kind of vibe. Let's look at the so if we can play the clip with the food, that would be awesome. Where we're making the fawin and thing. Yeah, yes I.
I'm doing cassava. I fais cassava aujourd'hui. Moi, je mange au plat, mais la presse. On finit moi passer farina. Moi, je coco. On prend mouchasse. Moi, couler de l'eau, mouchasse méada. Avec farina. Coco, cannelle, muscade, les sauces. Avec mes pétouilles. Avec mon café cassava aujourd'hui, cuillère. Moi, coucher en lait. Moi, coucher en platina. En les feuilles. Yeah, that's only how I do it.
You see, she dropped some Creole and then she dropped some English. She said, "That's how I do it." Boom, that's how I do it. You know, I just want to say, we have a few comments here. Yolanda Brice just say salad kokom, not kokom salad. Okay, salad kokom. All right. Adele said, zakal coco. I remember these things, and Adela just said, squash is the best. Boy, a squash with, remember they used to put, when they make the squash, they used to put some banana essence in that. Whoa. That used to come down. I remember when they make squash and they put a little banana essence in it, how good that used to be. You
I
know?
make that almost every time at my house.
Really?
Tabaka West Steel. Imagine, I think Jacob was the one who went to St. Lucia, and I said, the only thing I want is a bottle of banana essence. I just had that recently.
Oh, wow.
Mesa. And I must say,
you
see me? I'm right now eating my baked eklamowi, the same baked.
Your bake you were doing earlier today.
My baked eklamowi. Yes, no, it's my salad kokom.
Because salad kokom, nice.
The only thing I don't have is squash.
It's squash. You better than me. Yolanda Brice just said, Yolanda, remember the money Mama gave us to put in offering in the church. You and Ruby bought
Buldawa. Buldawa, money in the church. Buldawa.
Your mother didn't know that, right? Y'all didn't tell her, right? She wouldn't like that, taking the money for the church and buying bull. So a Jounen Kewyol or a St. Lucia Heritage show would not be complete without adding the queen of culture. I think she's the cousin. I know Marilyn just indicated earlier on, she said, my cousin. So I know where Marilyn get the voice from, the vocal ability from. So, a show would never be complete without adding this lady. And anybody know who we're talking about? Anybody know who we're talking about?
I must boast. She's my cousin too.
Really?
I didn't get the voice. I didn't get the voice. This cat was born a Shallery. And when he saw Shallery, my mother is a Shallery. I'm a Shallery. I got my Brice from my dad. So I say somewhere la, Adela, right?
So hold on. So hold on.
Somebody was shouting.
Creole, chante ba moi, Yolanda Brice, ça nous
ça fait moi la peine, et oui, ça vrai. Ça fait moi la peine, et oui, ça vrai. Si moi tout ça fait moi la peine, et oui, ça vrai. Quand ma mère charma, so pas qu'à faire l'amour poignet.
Mais oui, ça vrai.
Let me do a better job. You can go to do a way better job.
But you did a great job. But that's what, guys, again, that's what Bouyon is about. It's about us having fun. It's about us talking about the serious things, but as well as we can have fun and do these kind of shows. So Adela, you're right. We're talking about the lady herself. Leona, you're right. Sesen Dean Descott. Yes, that's who we're talking about. This lady, we cannot have a show without showing her off. We have to show off because this is the woman who has represented St. Lucia culturally. She's gone out there and she is the face of St. Lucia culture, So being Sesen, or since Sesen is your cousin, tell us what you know about Sesen Descott. I put you on the spot.
Okay, put me on the spot. Yeah. I know one thing. I inherited something from Sesen. People like to say, oh, you like those African things. Oh, look. Ooh. Her hand was always filled with her bracelets. She always had her beaded necklaces around her neck. She was a beautiful woman. Her features matched her voice. She could sing. I know a lot about Sesen Descott. She lived in La Pointe, right? She was married to a Descott. That's where she got a Descott from. But as I said, she was a Shallery. And this woman has been for so much, gotten so many awards. The Crown Queen of Culture. She also got but we learn more about it in your video, right?
Yeah, Dame.
Sesen.
Yeah.
I think her first name was Marie.
So if we can roll that clip that we have.
Mukai baizo yon fe wom bra. And so say I mama ida. And we go to one mama ida. Mukai baizo yon fe wom bra. Mukai baizo yon fe wom bra. Something what mama ida.
let me tell you, that voice is awesome, you know. But we want to play the other clip that we have because I have another clip. We have another clip of it, so I wanna roll that as well right away. That's not the one though.
Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, Mrs. Marie Selifa Sasan Descartes, SLMM,
Why encore? Ça toujours, nous savions à moi. Maman l'a dit, yo tan yo pale, yo makanele, mamele yo. What knows about mama? What knows about papa? What knows your mama? Sunset and soba. Mama l'a dit, why encore? Ça toujours. What knows your mama? Sunset and soba. Mama l'a dit, why encore? Ça va moins, ça vient va moins. Les enfants ne va bien, c'est comme moi au palais. Moi j'occupe les mains, moi parle les pieds, moi parle les pieds. Moi l'eau qu'on a sauvé, moi l'eau j'abat maman, moi l'eau j'abat papa. Maman l'a dit, why encore? Ça toujours. Les enfants ne va bien, c'est pas moi au palais. Moi l'eau j'abat maman, moi l'eau qu'on a sauvé, ça c'est juste des marins. Maman l'a dit, why? Maman l'a dit, why? Ça encore. Maman l'a dit, why?
Sesen Descartes, the queen of culture.
Yes.
The queen of culture. I know there are plans currently to transform her home into a museum, a cultural museum. So I really hope that happens. I really hope that happens. I don't know if you know anything about it, Yolanda.
Well, I know that was the case. I know that I'm not sure what year it was. I think 2000 some year when they built a home for her. They said that upon her death they were going to turn it into a museum, but I'm not sure if that has happened. I don't think it has, because if it has, I'm sure I would have visited already.
Yeah, not yet. But I know the director of, I think, what is of the Folk Research Center. I think they were talking. I saw an interview. I think was it in 2019 or 2020 or something thereabout, when they were talking about actually doing this and how they're going to work on doing that. So I look forward to visiting. That'd be something, and I'd encourage every St. Lucian to visit and and enjoy that. Talking about Sesen, there was also another guy. I think of him as really an icon of the St. Lucia cultural movement. He passed away a couple of years ago, Frank Norville. I think Mr. Frank Norville. I think he was a really good advocate for culture, and we have a little clip of him here, which I would really like to show. So if we can roll that clip.
On voit encore nous qu'à célébrer, nous venir ensemble pour nous observer. Anniversaire, langage nous patois, Hispanien qui aussi tout comme ça. À l'année entière, nous t'es espérer, pour nous venir ensemble et participer. Et pour ça, ça va rien qui drôle, nous sortis pour célébrer Jounen Kewyol, aïe aïe aïe. Nous sortis pour célébrer Jounen Kewyol. Sorti fort, allez postuler. Petit comme moi, tout le monde participer. Nous habillés en costume créole, j'aime confier tout le monde qui a gardé tout. Ça vous a battu à Jaga Soupé, c'est mon gars c'est costume en janté. Et comme ça va rien qui doit, nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. L'histoire qu'a dit, j'ai mon gars côté. Si y a qu'à couper, moi y'en qu'a gouaché. Car l'eau est ma pas soudivé. En l'eau, mon bout de la qu'a espéré. Fais ça ou paye, ou pas qu'à quitter. C'est yon petit coup d'adieu qu'a espéré. Et comme ça va rien qui doit. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. Ces hommes-là, ils la caillent rouler là-bas. Et que nous caillent manger farine exactement. Ouais, qui t'es caco, nous qui t'es épaissi. Et limonade qui fait d'exo ici. Ou caillent aussi bien trouver l'occasion. Pour ça, je n'avais pas, ouais, voilà. Et pour ça, ça va rien qui doit. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. Dans ces débats, monte Kukumba, la comète produit les coulala. Chanson longtemps pour Aileen voyer de l'eau. Et aussi danser à yon kakouye solo. C'est bagaille ça les plus nous qu'à présenter. Et nous qu'à inviter pour venir s'y porter. Et comme ça va rien qui doit. Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole. 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 Nous sortis pour célébrer journée créole.
You know, we selected this song because it talks a lot about Jounen Creole and some of the things that of in our culture that we celebrate. A lot of the things that we celebrate. So that was one of the reasons why we chose this song. You know, and this man was a talented man, Yolanda. He was very talented, and he played a lot. And as people were commenting, he did a lot of the quadrille and the dances and stuff. He coordinated a lot of this. You know, guys.
So was he also from Monrepo?
He was from Monrepo as well.
I'm just asking.
No, I think I know him from living at the Mon.
Oh.
So I don't know where he originally came from. What part of
I'm asking because you realize that a lot of the culture moguls are from Monrepo.
PI was the place that a lot of them settled.
PI had a lot, but I'm telling you, Monrepo had its fair share. And we can attest to that. We had Cesen Descartes, we just spoke about her. And Peter, do you know that the I don't know what that expression is, but Premier Jounen Kewyol Bouyon 1983, I think.
Okay.
In fact, the first one was 1983, but the first one that was celebrated as a community experience was in 1984 in Monrepo.
Oh, really?
And that's where it started. Yep.
Oh, and you know, I want to read something that T Firehouse has just written.
Read.
She said, a very fitting day to have this show. Today, we celebrate the birthday of the late Mrs. Teresa Hall, founder of Helen Folk Dancers. May her legacy live on. Culture is life.
Indeed.
T, you have me reading. Peter, you don't read yourself. All right. Read. Okay, so I read the comments. All right. Oh, somebody said, boy, if I'm gonna butcher it, I'm just gonna use your last name because I'm gonna butcher the first one. She said, I think that's Marilyn. She said it started the first one was in 1984.
Yeah, 1984 in Monrepo.
Right. In Mopo it happened.
Mopo.
Mama Mopo. You know, guys, we've really gone beyond our time, and I got a call to say you need to cut this show. But anyway, we still have one more thing to do. Yolanda, we still have one more thing to do.
What is that, Peter?
I actually saved that one for last for particular reasons. And when you hate, you'll know why I saved that one for last, right? So I want to thank my friend. I just met her. Trish. I don't know if she pronounced her name Dangerville or Dangerville, but Trish D. I refer to her as Trish D. You may know, you can look her up on YouTube. She goes as Coco T with a capital T, Coco, COCOA, capital T, and she has a lot of short stories and so on there. And there's one that she did just for us. You see how fortunate we are? We have people doing things just for we, because we are Bouyon tonight. Yo,
Patois. Oui.
Ou sa nou bon kon sa? Tout moun ka fe bagay pa nou oswaya. Cause nou se Bouyon. Yolanda, you have me doing nonsense on
Put
air,
you on
right?
the spot, Peter. Put you on the spot.
I know, right? You have me doing nonsense on air, right? Guys, we having a good time. We having a good time. We having a good time, all right? So if we could just roll the clip with that story, I want to hate. I love it. I love it.
Anne-Marie, ça on fait là. Oui, là, moi bien. Madame Freddy qu'a tué mon Freddy qui ni. Anne-Marie, guess qui m'a joindre en disant ça fait Jounen Kewyol. Moi donc guess quoi mon pas ça, moi donc guess. Mais qui m'a laissé Sheila, m'a côté la caille Sheila. Anne-Marie qui m'a sort comme ça. Anita si vous. Moi donc Anita Amérique. Madame, moi avec Aïcha et Sheila, on dit dans Jounen Kewyol là. Chaque monde pour porter un bagay. So Sheila fait figue glamour oui et il mène un fa ou une avocat. Là nous vivons là nous nous qualité simplicien. Mais madame, c'est mon ani toi table manger. C'est mon ani qualité chaud pas ici, chaud pas là. On a tout ça catchilé. C'est mon ani là, c'est mon ani peine épice. Là-bas bad. Bon mon chasse. Bouillon kwab, bouillon la cochon. Oh, enfin. Tout qualité manger. Moi dis bon te Sheila. Qui laisse quand moi tout manger ça? Il va me parler comme mon Aïcha et la caillou. So parler de parler avec Aïcha. Moi on t'y fait quand il boit un truc. Mais tu fais les long ka bad fest. C'est na ba Aïcha blanc. Aïcha, on mon na pour nous ici. So mon temps moi tourner. Les est tombé sans moi. Moi dis Anita, ou find out the Vegetica Avenue, it will not take me. Moi dis Anita si vous. Anita c'est Seraphine. Anita kauta bagon miye. Anita tête sec. Tout ça m'a pour y pas regarder. La type a dit, do you know her? I don't think I remember her. She probably knows my ancestors. Moi dis moi dis Anita, ou pas changer moi? Vetish, I'm unmarried. So type a dit, you better say hi. She knows you. Idi hi. Mokodi hek, mokodi ha. Moi qui tiens tabak misé. So on a parlé de ces mounins là. On m'a touché les épaules moi. Mais moi tourne, moi un jeune homme kawi. Mon kadi, vous connaissez moi. Il a dit moi connais tout trop bien. Moi dit vrai qu'il est soya. Il doit pas changer moi. Moi dit non m'a changer, on fait moi changer. Il dit madame, musique était ka poète beko ti moi j'ai mangé la caillou. Moi dit vrai. Il dit regardez ça, Maxab on brûlé, moi la caillou ka outi noir. Là il dit ça, moi dit pita. Oui. Elle m'a changé pita comment? Moi dit pita ou qui là? Tout les la caille pita nous. Moi, dit Peter, on change, moi. Il dit, qui m'a dit, change. Marie Peter fait moi, oui, Peter blague. Peter fait nous, oui, yeah, moi, do. So, pas de nous parler de Peter. Moi, quand on regarde, there's nothing I hate more than St. Lucians talking Creole in public. This language is so dirty. Moi, dit Peter, c'est pas nous parler. Peter dit, mais parle pour le pays. Moi, nous connaissons Peter. Peter, bon, moi, yon l'eau dans un lait en tamouin d'eau. Peter, bon, moi, pour dessous, en Marie d'abord pour dessous. Peter dit, moi, Jean y en Anita dans le Facebook. Jean voit pas ça pour Anita venir faire vacances en Amérique. Là, il est pour descendre, il est pas qu'à descendre. Peter dit, moi, c'est mon bawa c'est Anita. Anita blast son microwave, là, c'est mon nom. Mettez un trou microwave là. Anita quoi, c'est dryer, c'est mon nom. Il faut te briser Clorox en dryer. Peter dit, moi, ti bois là-bas, Anita là, avec chemise noire, chemise blanc. Il dit, Anita laver ça sur délicate. Marie, qui m'a dit pas d'eau? Anita dit, des stepping rouge qui délicate aussi. Il faut tester stepping rouge là, parmi ces hard blancs, quand c'est dernier chemise qui là. Ah, Peter dit, moi, yo, un bas, wa, c'est Anita, juste que l'eau, Anita ka brûler. À fois, c'est pas ça, bouille manger. Eh bien, Anita ka fait nous Amérique. So, Peter dit, mais parle for you, ping. Je dis, OK. So, nous ka parler, nous ka musique, nous ka danser, musique, oh, it's nice. Oh, like Vinny, excuse me, Peter, you have any real food in this house? Moi, dit, moi, dit, Peter, just pour ça, moi, dit, toi, t'as mangé cochon là pour manger, parce qu'elle m'a rembourser Anita. Et dit, oh my God, there she goes again, sticking that Creole. And Mary, moi, trouvé, moi, t'es ça, dit Anita, des paroles, la caille Peter. Moi, dit, non. Ma caille Anita, moi, la caille Peter. Moi, dit, Anita, moi, obligé de jouer, non. On côté, moi, ça, nous, ça, moi, pour nous, là. Il partit en Chine, il pour manger. Si on l'a quitté, Peter, moi, il y a 40 ans, Peter, on peut dire que moi, ouais. Les moi, dit des cacoa, Marie, yon bagay craint, moi, d'eau, ça, mais moi, bon Dieu, qui m'a fait comme prison ça? Marie, ma savent qui fait yon mettre ça, bagay là, mais bagay là, comme fan, parce qu'il pas tuer. Moi, dit Peter, nous, on y a prendre prison les tables là, il dit, mais qui ça qui là? Moi, dit, mon nom, dit cacoa. Peter dit, mais moi, j'ai boire des potes d'aim. Moi, dit, Peter, boire ça. Marie, tout le monde qui goûtait ça, qui joue quand il l'aide. On l'a madame de ce point, ça, et elle donne ça. Moi, dit, Peter, rôle qu'on pas qu'à mon soeur. Marie, là, moi, j'ai fait des cacots, moi, j'ai fait tout. Moi, acheté ma technique. N'a mettez glo, moi, ça. N'a mettez miscade. N'a mettez cannelle. N'a mettez jus wof. N'a mettez feuille boisden. La peau citron, n'a mettez ça bouillir. Le nagwa j'ai cacoa, n'a mettez ça. Laisse ça fin bouillir. N'a mettez lait, moi. Et n'a épaissi ça, et tout le monde. Madame, ça ka coin. Juste Peter qui parle ça, il dit, mais si mon qui te vu la caille, moi, pot, tout genre ba bon. Te la vu point de tête, ni te kako la caille, moi. Moi, nous savons ça, quoi, cochonner. Quand les la écoué, moi, faut me ring, le mec moi, c'est Peter. Mais moi, il pense, c'est, woy. Moi, ni Peter qui s'active. Peter dit, moi, depuis 10 ans, souhait. Il y a fait là pour vite, Marie. Il faut ça lever juste toujours, il y a yonné. Moi, dis Peter, moi, vers tout, c'est pour les hommes, mais Marie, Peter, même pour vous, ou ouais, yon pot bagay en mais ça, quoi, 2-3 portes. Mon chance, non? Là, il finit quand même, ou va qui m'ont qui porte des tiers, ou va qui m'ont qui porte, moi, dis ma qui m'ont qui porte, mais sous les mots, c'est un intermarché, non. Bon. Marie, dit c'est mon cas, c'était bouillon, soit à la pareille de bouillon. Parce que Peter, bah, oui, lâchement de tes cacots, parce que ça fait chaud en soi, ok? Peter, moi, pour moi, hôtel, n'a pas parler bah, Peter. Ok, Doudou, bye.
So if you realize, I've been turning my camera off and on because my other will ashma, and I know I love you guys so much, so I had to make sure I am on the show, or the show happened tonight. So when you see the times you see I turn my screen off is because I was running to the toilet and trying to run back. So yes, so for the people who did not understand, it was about Peter D being so greedy, having 3 cups of a cocoa tea that wasn't made properly. And as a result, it sent him to the bathroom. So he was using the bathroom all the time. But I still made it. We still had a Bouyon session. Bouyon is still happening.
So Peter, that was you?
That was me, yes.
The name was not coincidental. It really was you.
It really was me, yeah.
Maybe to who I say.
Moins savent, Ugo one. Anyway, guys, all good things must come to an end. We have really exceeded the time or past the time that we was allotted to us. But I thank our management for allowing me the extra time to go ahead and complete this program. Once again, I want to thank everyone for joining us on Bouyon. Yolanda, I want to thank you so much for being such an awesome co-host tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Peter.
Thank you. I want to thank also Javon Daniel for doing such a great job for assisting us tonight, because without you, that would not be possible. I'd be struggling. Yolanda would be struggling because we're trying to split between us. So thank you so much for doing that for us, making this happen. I want to thank Marilyn as well for her storytelling and for sharing with us and me putting her on the spot and having her to sing. I deliberately did not. I deliberately did not put the video on, and I deliberately did not tell her. That was intentional. I wanted to put her on the spot to sing first, because if I'd said that to her, she'd have said, no. Let's play the video instead. So I said, I'm not doing that. Right?
Apology, Peter.
And also I want to thank Coco T as well. Trisha T. Trisha, thank you so much, Trisha D, actually, for taking the time and composing this short story just for Bouyon. So thank you so much, guys. Once again, I want to thank everyone who have joined us tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week. Next week, I have in the house an author. I think you guys will really enjoy this. Her name is Modella Olivier. She'll be talking about her book. And let me tell you, when I first met her and she like read an excerpt from the book, I was like, my mouth dropped and I was like, oh my God. So she's gonna be on to next week. And I really ask you guys to join because it's gonna be an amazing show, and she can sing as well. So you don't know it coming on well on Sunday. Ms. Brice, thank you. I want to give you the opportunity if you want to say anything for 30 seconds. I give 30 seconds if you want to address anyone.
Yeah, well, Peter, I'll just say my last words in part. Moi just lady that cultural heritage say glua ki kachen no some. So I think no need to try really hard to just make sure no passe kiltea. Okay, I think I'm butchering it. Culture.
I didn't want to say it, but you are.
Okay, it's the glue that holds us together. We need to try really hard to make sure we pass our cultures onto our children, not just the language, the dance, the dress, the food, the ways of doing, the way of living, so that they can have a little piece of ourselves, and then we can move on for generations and generations. Okay, so I think it's just really important.
Awesome. So I'm going to say my part in Creole.
Let's see.
Okay. Moi vle di merci tout le monde, merci pour zot part about moi vle di merci, bien merci pour tout le monde pour join us en Bouyon.
What?
Lot dimanche. Yo, I know you're looking for me.
The show tonight, Bouyon was mentioned so many times by so many people. It almost seemed as if this Bouyon show was created for this show. But I'm just sorry to say, sou vous avez pièce we made bandage, schedule mall bagay pou blembete sou teach us how just been dealer because who blesses sa movie casting right now. Sou vous avez presque we made wazier, chapatier, gonna pas fait, rien pour ça mettre les bobo ça ou just fait là. Money, just check when I about that.
Moi just ba pour dire ou comprendre plus tale là ou try parler créole et puis ou croiser même moi. So moi just fait ça pour ba bagay
to make up.
You comprendre? So ou make up, eh? Right.
Okay.
Once again, guys, we want to thank you.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Good night. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for your patience and for staying with us. Thanks. Bye. Good night.
Bye.